guys, what is good and what is going on, Sixer Nation? Your boy BLSG back yet again for another Philadelphia 76ers live play-by-play. Once again, NBA in-season tournament group play edition. That's right, ladies and gents. Once again, we are back for another play-by-play yet again, but this time between the Philadelphia 76ers on my left and the Atlanta Hawks on my right. The Philadelphia 76ers currently on a 2-game losing streak right now after losing back-to-back games to both the Boston Celtics and the Indiana Pacers, while the Atlanta Hawks, on the other hand, have also went ahead and are currently on a bit of a losing streak, but have only lost one game, though, making it not so bad of a losing streak in losing a very slim game to the New York Knicks. Both these teams are looking to get back on the winning ways here tonight, but only one team can prevail. But the question is, which team is it going to be tonight? Shout out to everyone that's already coming through, ladies and gentlemen. Already had a ton of comments come through, and we got 4 people in the chat, so appreciate everybody that's coming through and tuning in already. If you guys have not done so, ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button on the stream, hit the subscribe button if you guys are new, and share the stream so we can bring more views up in the chat. You guys know how we rock and roll as always, so like always, let's get down to business. And we're going to go through the chat here, hopefully pretty quickly here to hopefully get things in here before the game starts. And I need to go back to the top of the chat. I don't know why this did this twice. I'm not sure why, but y'all get the point, though. As it usually says on the same comment, it's the same old, same old. Just like I say every stream, smash the like button on your way in here and hit the subscribe button if you guys are new. You guys know the drill. For all the returning subscribers and all the returning people. Appreciate all you guys, though, for coming through and tuning in like always. So let's get through the chat here real quick before the game gets started. Going to try to get through as many comments as possible. MC, what's going on? Appreciate you for coming through. As always, says, let's do this, Sixers. Also appreciate you for being the first one in here as well, MC. And you already know what it is, too. Let's try to get another win here in the NBA in-season tournament. But more importantly, let's try to get off this 2-game losing streak that we are currently on right now. But again, appreciate you for coming through, MC. Hit the like button if you have not done so. Appreciate you for coming through as well. My guy, Charles Adderley, what's going on? Charles, appreciate you for coming through as well. Said Sixers all the way from Nassau, Bahamas. Hey, appreciate you for coming through, though, Charles. Hit the like button if you have not done so, my guy. Appreciate you for coming through the stream as well. Guys, we did get off to a late start, so I'm going to just go through the starting lineups real quick. For the Sixers is Tyrese Maxey, DeAnthony Melton, Robert Covington, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid. For the Atlanta Hawks is Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, Jalen Johnson, and Clint Capella for the Atlanta Hawks. Once again, another road game, but this time the Sixers looking for a win. Sixers looking for a win in this one. Guys, we will get back to the chat as the stream goes on. We'll get through it like towards the commercials. But I know I got off to a late start. And before you ask, I did see something from SG Sports Talk thinking it was technical difficulties. It wasn't. I overall just got off to a late start because I had to shower and everything, and also made a few adjustments with my tripod, so at the same time, that comes into play. So it wasn't technical difficulties, it was just other stuff. As the tip is underway, Atlanta wins the tip as Trae Young kicks it out to DeJounte Murray. Murray back out to Young. Young at the top of the key for 3, and that is airball, and it's rebounded by Joel Embiid. Embiid will get it over to Tobias Harris. Harris going by Jalen Johnson, putting it up for 2, and it's good for Tobias Harris to get this game started in the in-season tournament. Let's go. As Trae Young brings the ball down the floor here for the Hawks. Gets it over to Capella. Capella guarded by Embiid. Gets it over to DeJounte Murray for 3, and it's good for DeJounte Murray to get it started for the Atlanta Hawks. Here we go. Here's Maxey bringing the ball down the floor. Maxey pump fakes on DeJounte Murray. Gets it over to Robert Covington. Covington gets it over to Embiid. Embiid guarded by Capella. Finds Harris under the basket for 2, and it's good for Tobias Harris. Let's go. Come on. Get aggressive. Get off to a quick start here. No holding back. As Capella gets it back over to DeJounte Murray. Murray out to Trae Young. Trae Young with the floater for 2, and it is no good for Trae Young. And the rebound is picked up by Robert Covington, and he'll get it over to Maxey. Maxey, the 3 from the wing. No good. Going to be rebounded by Melton, and Melton coming through, and he misses the layup. That's going to be rebounded here by Jalen Johnson. Johnson getting in the lane is going to throw one down past Joel Embiid, and it's good for 2. Here we go. Melton with the ball gets it over to Embiid. Embiid in the lane, putting it up for 2. No good, but he will be fouled, and I do believe this is going to be on number 1, Jalen Johnson. SG Sports Talk, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you coming through, as well as a Warriors fan coming through. Guys, we respect all the fans that come through in the chat. Appreciate you coming through, though. SG Sports Talk, another one of my loyal subscribers. Hit the like button if you have not done so. SG Sports Talk, appreciate you coming through to the stream as well. As Joel Embiid is at the line here, shooting 2 free throws after the foul called on Jalen Johnson. First one is good for Embiid. Day's going great so far, SG Sports Talk. Hopefully you're doing the same, my guy. Hopefully everyone's doing well on this Friday night, ladies and gentlemen. Getting ready for college football tomorrow. I will be streaming Ohio State and Minnesota tomorrow since it is a 4 o'clock game and since I do not have to work. So be sure to come through and tune in tomorrow night. Second one at the line for Embiid is good. So Sixers get off to a 6-5 lead here after the 2 Joel Embiid made free throws. And now Trae Young will bring it down the floor. Guarded by DeAnthony Melton. Trae Young going to his right. Trae Young with the sidestep to Capella for 2. Misses the layup, but gets the putback for the second chance points. From the Atlanta Hawks center, number 15, Clint Capella. Here comes Maxey standing at the logo. Maxey guarded by DeJounte Murray, gets it to Robert Covington. Covington gets it to Embiid. Embiid guarded by Capella, gets it to Maxey. Maxey around the screen. Back to Embiid. Embiid driving on Capella. Embiid going backwards into Capella with the layup, and that's too easy for Joel. Arguably, Clint Capella so far in this first quarter is baby food to Joel Embiid. Trae Young with the ball, pump faking around Melton. Doing some crazy tricks, but it doesn't work. It goes out of bounds off the Hawks, and it will be Sixers ball. And Trae Young absolutely sidestepped right past Robert Covington on the recent play where it resulted in a Clint Capella second chance point. And Clint Capella's second chance points for the layup. As Max sees the ball, gets it back to Embiid. Embiid at the top of the key. Embiid guarded by Capella. Embiid standing at the free throw line, stepping back. Embiid going to go with the step back three. And it's good for Joel Embiid. He said, let me hit the James Harden step back one time. Here we go. There's Trae Young with the ball. Trae Young looking, finds Jalen Johnson. Johnson has the ball poked by Robert Covington, gets it out to DeJounte Murray, over to Jalen Johnson, who pump fakes. Out to Hunter in the corner for 3, and it's no good. It's going to be rebounded, though, by Jalen Johnson. He'll get it to go. But it is going to be a foul called on the Hawks. So we're going the other way, and the basket does not count for Atlanta. Man, and B on the top of the key 3 said, let me go ahead and hit the James Harden step back real quick. Woo! Over Capella, the James Harden step back and beat. Okay. Okay, Joel. I see where we're going with this. Here we go, though, as Robert Covington gets it over to Embiid. Embiid guarded by Capella. Embiid in the lane, putting it up for 2, and it's good for Joel Embiid. And once again, Clint Capella is being baby food to Joel Embiid here in the first quarter. Here we go. There's Trae Young here at the top of the key. Lofting it up towards Jalen Johnson, and he'll throw it down on the alley-oop for the Hawks. The Hawks are not going to make this easy, though, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you that right now. They had a close game with the New York Knicks. And the New York Knicks are a team that's looking to contend in the Eastern Conference again this year. As Embiid finds Harris in the lane, it's too easy. No defense from Atlanta whatsoever. Here we are. It's Trae Young with the ball. Trae Young going to his right. Absolutely destroyed DeAnthony Melton. And that's good for Trae Young from the right wing. Man, he absolutely broke the ankles of DeAnthony Melton as Harris gets over to Melton, over to Embiid. Embiid, guarded by Capella again. Capella trying to poke at the ball. Embiid looking, directing traffic. Embiid finds Melton. Melton finds Robert Covington. Covington to Harris. Harris with the hook shot, no good. Robert Covington trying to fight for the rebound, and that is not a green light for the Sixers as Atlanta gets the defensive rebound. And DeAndre Hunter gets it over to DeJounte Murray, over to Trae Young. Getting it over to Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson backing into Maxey. Out to Murray. Murray coming in the lane. Out to Jalen Johnson, over to Trae Young. Trae Young being fouled by Maxey. It will be airballed. But Trae Young is trying to convince the official that it was a shooting foul. And I think this is one they're going to miss for sure. They might have missed the shooting foul because they left 4.3 seconds left on the shot clock for Trae Young to work with. as well as the Hawks. But they're going to actually take it back to 14 seconds, and they're going to actually make it an inbound pass here. And this will be a timeout called. Can't tell who called the timeout. I'm going to refresh the stats here, see if it shows it. And it was a timeout called by Atlanta. Sixers with a 15-12 lead over the Hawks right now. Gotta like the start so far. I like your YouTube channel and make some great content. Hey, SC Sports Talk, I appreciate that, my guy. This is stream number 2 of 3 for this week. I should have my Eagles-Chiefs preview probably out sometime tomorrow before I stream the Ohio State-Minnesota game. If not that, then after, before Sunday morning probably. But sometime in that time frame, be sure to tune into the mini preview that I'll have up, like I've been doing all season. Go Hawks! Hey, like I said before, we respect all the fans in here, but apparently, for some reason, this guy, SC Sports Talk, is just one of those Sixers haters. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's all respect. Hey, go Trae Young. Trans a mini version of Steph Curry. I mean, we'll see how long it lasts for. How long have you been a 76ers fan? I started watching the 76ers in the year where Kawhi Leonard hit the dagger on the Sixers in Game 7 to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. So I think that was the 2019 year. The 2018-2019 year when the Sixers had Redick, Butler, all those guys. They still had Ben Simmons at the time for sure. I know that. So I'd say we're in 2023, 2024. So I'd say this would be my 5th year watching them. But this is like one of the first couple years where I've actually had like an opportunity to really look at the Sixers team. Make sure you click that like button and subscribe button for BLSG, as he's 398 subs away from getting monetized on his channel and getting super chats. And then I can start making money on YouTube that way, SC Sports Talk. But at the same time, I need to get the watch hours up. 100% need to get the watch hours up. Hey, I appreciate that, SC Sports Talk. I'm always here, though. I'm always here. I know I haven't been able to do stuff in the past, but again, school's just been one of those like pain in the butt type of things. But hey, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, though, when I'm still in school, school comes first for sure, 100%. And there's been other things too, but school 100% comes first. Thanksgiving 7 days away. Yep. You already know it is. Christmas is 39 days away. Yep. The countdowns begin. And ever since it's been getting closer to Thanksgiving, I've seen all the Christmas lights up, and I'm like to myself, okay, Thanksgiving just doesn't exist. So I'm like, that's great. As the game is back on, it is an inbound pass here for Atlanta, and the layup, though, is good for Atlanta. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was DeAndre Hunter. If not him, it was Clint Capella. DeAndre Hunter is still on the floor. So Melton gets it over to Embiid, and Embiid receives the double team. But the Hawks are going to foul Joel Embiid. It wasn't a shooting foul, so it will be an inbound pass. Sixers only up by 1, though, because of the layup. I do believe it was DeAndre Hunter. If not him, it was Clint Capella. But again, I do believe it was DeAndre Hunter, though, who had the layup earlier. As Harris is going to go ahead and inbound it, and inbounds it to Embiid. Embiid finds Robert Covington. Robert Covington inside the three-point line. Maxey trying to save the terrible pass thrown by Robert Covington, and that is not a possibility as it goes out of bounds off of the hand of Tyrese Maxey, and it will be Hawks basketball, with the Hawks having an opportunity to go ahead and take the lead. As Murray gets it over to DeAndre Hunter, gets it over to Capella. Capella gets it over to Bogdan Bogdanovic, who checks it for the first time, and that's an immediate turnover for the Hawks. And Harris gets it to Covington. Covington to Embiid. Embiid to Melton. Melton taking the three. And it's short for DeAnthony Melton. It's going to be rebounded by Jalen Johnson. Here goes Jalen Johnson down the floor, trying to drive on Melton, bully him, and that's no good. It's going to be rebounded by Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson putting up the floater and putting it in for 2 to give the Hawks a 16-15 lead over the Sixers. Over 5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. as Embiid gets it over to Maxey. Maxey guarded by Murray. Maxey going inside, gets it over to Melton. Melton the fadeaway 2, and it is good for DeAnthony Melton. He got it at the very last moment as it was bouncing on the rim multiple times, but it finally goes for 2, and Melton has a nice shot to give the Sixers a 1-point lead. As Capella gets it over to DeJounte Murray. Murray with the floater for 2, no good, and Embiid gets the rebound. And he'll get it over to Tyrese Maxey. Maxey guarded by DeAndre Hunter, gets it over to Embiid. Embiid back to Maxey. Maxey has to handle it once more. Did they call it travel? Maxey might have traveled. I can't tell if he did or not. They're showing the DeAnthony Melton fadeaway. Yeah, that was a nice fadeaway, though, by DeAnthony Melton. I do believe they did call a travel on Maxey. It might have been a double dribble, I think. As Murray gets it over to Bogdan Bogdanovic. Bogdanovic getting in the lane, laying it up and laying it in to give the Hawks once again a 1-point lead over the Sixers. Guys, appreciate the 7 people in the chat. Appreciate you guys for coming through and tuning in tonight. As Max sees the ball, goes to his right, gets it over to Embiid. Embiid with the fake to Covington, guarded by Saddiq Bey. Embiid behind the back to Covington in the corner for 3, and it's good for Robert Covington. Okay, Rocco, I see how we're working tonight. Let's go. Keep doing that. As Bogdanovic has the ball here for the Hawks. Gets it over to DeJounte Murray. Murray out to Bogdanovic. Bogdanovic driving. Bogdanovic fading away on 1 for 2, and it's no good, but the putback goes up and in. And once again, that is going to be Clint Capella, I do believe, putting it back for 2. As Embiid has the ball now at the top of the key. Finds Melton at the wing for 3. And it's good for DeAnthony Melton. Let's go, D-Mel. And he'll break the tie and make it a 23-20 Sixers lead. With over 3 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. As Murray gets it over to Saddiq Bey, back over to Murray. Murray finds Capella. Capella in the lane, putting it up for 2. Can't do it the first time. Can't put it back on the second chance opportunity. But a foul is going to be called on Robert Covington. First one on the line is no good for Clint Capella. What are you planning to do for Thanksgiving? Just have the opportunity to spend a good amount of time with family. But pretty much that's all I got for the weekend, for Thanksgiving mainly. We'll eventually get to this comment from Charles Adderley in just a few moments here, as Melton has the ball here, gets it over to Embiid, over to Patrick Beverley. Clint Capella did go 1 for 2 at the line as he finds Robert Covington out to Pat Bev in the corner for 3. No good. Rocco trying to get the rebound. They're going to say it stays with the Sixers. In my opinion, that should be Hawks basketball. Apparently, the officials are looking at something different. As Jaden Springer will check into the game here for DeAnthony Melton. And Marcus Morris will check in for Robert Covington. As Patrick Beverley inbounds it to Joel Embiid. We have Embiid with the bench unit and Embiid in the lane under the basket. He will be fouled. And Embiid's going back to the line to shoot 2 free throws. Foul, I do believe, is going to be called on Saddiq Bey. If not him, it's going to be on Onyeka Okongwu. It's actually going to be on Okongwu. Once again, Charles Adderley, appreciate you for coming back into the chat. Been a while since you've been here, but you know what? It's all good at the end of the day. As Embiid at the line here, he is for 2, and the first one is good for Joel Embiid. It's at SG Sports Talk channel. I have been a 76ers fan from the late 70s, early 80s. Moses Malone, Julius Erving, Andrew Toney, etc. Yeah, you had the opportunity to see all the greats Charles Adderley. But hey, again, Charles Adderley, appreciate you for coming back into the chat for the first time in a while. It's been a minute since I've seen you in the chat, my guy. I appreciate you for coming through. As the second one of the line for Joel Embiid is good. He goes 2 for 2 on this trip and gives the Sixers a 4-point lead over the Atlanta Hawks. Just over 3 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. As Trae Young goes to his right, kicks it out to Bogdanovic over to Saddiq Bey. Saddiq Bey kicking it out to Trae Young. Trae Young faking the floater, and it's going to be a foul called on Patrick Beverley. On Thanksgiving, we will be having turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, cream spinach, cranberry sauce, and stuffing. And we'll also be having some pecan pie. Sounds good, SG Sports Talk. As he wanted to say, what's up to Charles? Yeah, I know, SG Sports Talk. I know I started the game a little late. Had to take care of some things real quick. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. First one at the line was no good for Trae Young. Second one is good for Trae Young. SG Sports Talk, appreciate the welcome. Yeah, guys, be sure to welcome each other in the chat. Again, Charles Adderley is not new. He just hasn't been here in quite some time now. As Beverley gets it over to Embiid. Embiid tries to get it over to Daniel House. It will last go off of an Atlanta Hawk between Bogdanovic and Trae Young and will stay with the Sixers with 7 seconds left on the shot clock. We have win on Sunday, Tampa Bay or San Francisco. I'll take San Fran on that one, honestly. That's me being an honest Eagles fan. I think San Francisco finds a way to come away with the W. Let's go Atlanta Hawks. Hey, again, we respect all the fans that come through in here. So, SG Sports Talk, respect my guy. But again, appreciate you for coming through. Backyard Birds Podcast, another one that I have not seen in a minute. What's going on? That is my guy, Jerry Lee. If you guys have not checked him out, be sure to go ahead and check him out on his channel. Jerry Lee, a.k.a. Backyard Birds Podcast. What's going on, my guy? Appreciate you for coming through as well. It's been a minute since you've been in the chat, my guy. Appreciate you for coming through, like I've said before. Hit the like button if you have not done so. Backyard Birds Podcast, and appreciate you for coming through as well. It's so awesome, Charles. This kid is great. Yeah, I know, guys. I know I was late to the stream. Had to take care of some things real quick. But it wasn't because of technical difficulties. It was easily some other stuff. Trying to get my tripod at a different angle to where it can show more of my gear that I'm wearing. But there's honestly just no chance in having that happen. Bleacher, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you coming through. So go Sixers. You already know it is Bleacher. Appreciate you coming through as well. Hit the like button if you're not done so, Bleacher. Appreciate you coming through as well, like I said before. Hey, go Hawks. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Christmas is now 38 days away. Yep. It's getting there if you think about it. It's not that far away. Dre the Boxer, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you coming through. I do believe you're new here, Dre the Boxer. Appreciate you coming through. So go Dogs. I'm assuming this is relating to Georgia. But hey, Dre the Boxer, appreciate you coming through, my guy. Hit the like button if you have not done so, Dre. And if you since I don't recognize your account, Dre the Boxer, if you want more coverage between amongst all the Philly teams for the most part and Ohio State, since apparently this does relate to college football. But again, appreciate you coming through. If you want consistent coverage for a good amount of time between Philly sports and college football, be sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. But yeah, guys, finally got through all the comments before the first quarter ended. As you Sports Talk said, what are you doing for Christmas? Again, that's another thing where it's just I'm just spending time with family. Getting a good time with family over the holidays when, I don't really have the opportunity to spend time with them a lot. So that's kind of what I'm doing for both Christmas and Thanksgiving. Here we go, though. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Daniel House to do the inbound pass, gets it into Embiid. Embiid going to go with the step back 2 over, I do believe it was Okongwu, which is no good. Daniel House, though, with the offensive rebound and puts it back and gets the foul. So Daniel House will go to the line for one more. Foul will be called on Bogdan Bogdanovic, I do believe. as Daniel House Jr. does go ahead and complete the three-point play by making the free throw, and will put the Sixers up by 5, 28-23, with about 2 minutes left. As Bogdanovic gets it over to Trae Young. Trae Young coming around the screen. Trae Young kicking it out to number 32 for 3. It's no good. It's going to be rebounded by Okongwu. Gets it over to Trae Young. Trae Young, the floater, is no good, and rebounded by Marcus Morris. And he'll get it over to Patrick Beverley. Beverley going to his left. Beverley finds Embiid. Embiid driving in the paint. Embiid fading away on 1 for 2. No good. It'll be Bogdan Bogdanovic with the rebound here for the Hawks. Bogdanovic loses the ball but gets it back. Bogdanovic around the screen. Bogdanovic in the lane. Bogdanovic is going to have that go out of bounds, but it will go off of Joel Embiid, and it will stay with Atlanta with 14 seconds on the shot clock. Again, guys, about 2 minutes left here. As Trae Young inbounds it, I do believe it was to number 32. Number 32 being, I do believe that is Wesley Matthews, actually. Was it Wesley Matthews? Yep. That was Wesley Matthews right there. So Wesley Matthews go to the line here to shoot 2 free throws. They did call the foul, I do believe, on Marcus Morris, as the first one of the line for Wesley Matthews is good. Didn't Wesley Matthews used to play for... Did he used to play for, like, Milwaukee? He might have played for Milwaukee, as the second one for Wesley Matthews is no good at the line. Daniel House will get the rebound here for the Sixers. And Patrick Beverley will now bring it down the floor, as he is the point guard for the team. As Beverley gets it over to Embiid. Embiid standing at the free throw line. Embiid kicking it out to House. House back to Embiid. Back to House. House to Springer, who will get it to go for 2. After at first it looked like he wasn't going to get it in. Wait, did they call a... It will be an offensive goaltend on Jaden Springer. What the heck is that supposed to mean? I thought it was always on the defense. There's no way that could be an offensive goaltend. That is ridiculous. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought he used to play for Milwaukee. As Bogdanovic has the ball, Bogdanovic gets it over to Onyeka Okongwu. For the moment they called no basket, this was the same thing that happened to Jaden Springer, where the ball did not go in right away on a dunk. So they're trying to say that it's an offensive goaltending interference. Not sure if they're going to get away with this one, though. Asia Robertson, what's going on? Appreciate you for coming through as well, Asia. Hit the like button if you have not done so, Asia. Appreciate you for coming through to the stream as well. Appreciate all the older viewers for coming back into the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you guys. Guys, if you did not hear, I will be live for the Ohio State game tomorrow against the Minnesota Golden Gophers, so be sure to come through and tune in. As Ohio State looks to stay undefeated against Minnesota going into next week's game on Thanksgiving weekend against the team up north, also known as the Michigan Wolverines. That one I will not be able to stream. Unfortunately, I gotta work that day, which absolutely sucks because I wanted to watch that one at home. But you know what? It's life. It's life at the same time, though. I wanted to stream that game so bad, but at the same time, if Michigan did end up beating Ohio State next week, then Michigan fans would continue to run their mouths over and 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 over again. Yeah, Asia, I got hired for a job back in like late April. So up to this point, I've been working for, if you think about it, almost 7 months now. So what's the date today? The 17th? Yeah. So like in about 2 weeks from today, I'll be 7 months into working, which it feels like I just started working yesterday, honestly. But yeah, Asia, I do officially have a job now. Go Minnesota. Hey, we know Minnesota's probably not gonna have a chance, but honestly, Ohio State again looks to stay undefeated going into the Michigan game next week. As apparently they did call in an offensive turnover for an offensive goaltend, so we'll stay with the Sixers and we'll stay 28-24 game. As Embiid has the ball here, guarded by Okongwu, gets it over to Patrick Beverly. Beverly out to Springer, over to Harris. Harris backing in, going to go fade away against, I do believe it was Okongwu, no good. Going to be rebounded by Springer off the pass from Embiid. Springer kicking out to Harris. Harris directing traffic, finds Embiid. Embiid looking for his options here, guarded by Okongwu. Embiid fading away on 1 for 2, no good. It's going to be rebounded by Saddiq Bey. Also a former Villanova Wildcat, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. As Trae Young absolutely gets around Jaden Springer, gets over to Wesley Matthews, over to Trae Young. Trae Young guarded by Patrick Beverly. Young going to his left, guarded by Springer. Young dancing. Young going to go step back 2. That comes up short. It's going to be rebounded by the Sixers. I do believe we have under 20 seconds left here in the first quarter. So this will be potentially the last shot here for the Sixers. As Embiid has the ball here for Philly. Embiid guarded by Okongwu. Embiid going to drive. Embiid going to kick it out to House. House going to fade. Sixers, did they get a foul call? Did they get a foul call? They might have gotten a foul call before the clock expired. They with like a tenth or 2/10 of a second left potentially. They're probably going to want to review it. They do know House got fouled way before the clock expired. There was like 4/10 of a second left. MC just wanted to say what's up to Asia. MC and also just wanted to say the same thing to SG Sports Talk. Can't see all the messages. I hope all are well. Yeah, I think everyone's doing well today. I'm pretty sure they were saying something like that. But whenever the chat gets something like this long, MC, you normally cannot see all the comments, especially on the YouTube side. So Daniel House to the free throw line to shoot 2. First one is good for Daniel House Jr. Sixers again look to increase the lead against a Quinn Snyder coached Hawks team. Second one at the line for House is good. 6-point lead for Atlanta, or rather for Philly. The heave all the way at the end of the first quarter is no good. And the Sixers at the end of the first quarter will have a 6-point lead over the Atlanta Hawks by a score of 30-24. Great start for the Sixers in that first quarter as we go to quarter number 2. But yeah, guys, that's a good start for the Sixers right there. That's a good start. Not about how you start, though. It's about how you finish. Because this Hawks team is going to compete. This Hawks team is going to compete, though. Maxey is really a guy that needs to get going for the Sixers. I mean, like, desperately. You have Daniel House Jr. out here with more points than Tyrese. You got D'Anthony Melton with more points than Tyrese. For crying out loud, you got Robert Covington out here with more points than Tyrese. And Tyrese is supposed to be the guy that can play the point guard position. But to be fair, though, Maxey has had the opportunity to only get one shot attempt, so I guess I can see why, but Maxey needs the ball in his hands more. Like, why do you only get one shot attempt in the first quarter? That doesn't make any sense. I need Maxey back in the game, and I need him to get going real quick. But Embiid with 11 points there, Tobias Harris with 6, Melton with 5, Robert Covington with 3, and then Daniel House off the bench with 5. The lone guy carrying the bench right now. And off the bench for the Hawks, the only ones scoring right now are Wesley Matthews and Bogdan Bogdanovic. Each for a combined 3 points, as Wesley Matthews has 1 and Bogdan Bogdanovic has 2. Get the ball in Maxey's hands more. That's what I want to see. Get the ball in Tyrese Maxey's hands more. Can't just be having one shot attempt like that. You just can't. Got to clean it up. As Maxey is back in the game here for the Sixers, passes it over to House, back to Maxey, gets over to Paul Reed, who checks in, kicks out to Springer. Springer taking a 3 from the corner, no good. It's going to be rebounded by Saddiq Bey here for the Hawks. He'll get it over to Trae Young. Trae Young guarded by Jaden Springer. Young looking. Young going to his right. Young kicking it out to DeAndre Hunt, or rather that's Onyeka Okongwu, who's wide open for 3, and it's good. Cannot leave these guys wide open. The players need to know that for sure. Like, why is Nick Nurse sitting on the bench all the time? Just reminds me of Doc Rivers, as we're thinking about it. As Maxey the ball, thought about going step back 3, but fakes it as he gets over to Tobias Harris. Harris with the pump fake, backing into Bogdanovic. Harris with the fadeaway 2, and that was basically airballed. It's going to be rebounded by Onyeka Okongwu, who get it over to Trae Young, over to Bogdanovic, who shoots a 3, and it's good for Bogdan Bogdanovic. Like, why can't this team play defense right now? All we were asking for in the last 2 games was for this Sixers team to play defense. That's all we were asking for. They couldn't provide it to us, and right now they're not providing it here, as Harris thought about going with the fadeaway 2, gets it out to Trae Young, or rather that's Jaden Springer, I should say. Springer loses the ball, though, and it's into the hands of Saddiq Bey. Bey going up and denied by Jaden freaking Springer. Springer says, I got hops, Saddiq Bey. You should be knowing this right now. You should be watching more of my film. Let me take that basketball. Let me go put it in the coffin. Trying to do the inbound here. Inbounds it all the way towards half court to Bogdan Bogdanovic, who goes top of the key for 3. And it is no good for Bogdanovic. Rebounded by Maxey. Off the tip from Paul Reed. Maxey going to his right. Passes it to Reed. Reed. Dancing, spinning. Puts it up for 2. No good. Rebounded by Jalen Johnson. Johnson going up. And that is denied by Daniel House Jr. And now Harris bringing it down the other end. With the layup for 2, it's no good. It's going to be rebounded by Trae Young. Trae Young out to Bogdanovic at the wing for 3. No good. Jalen Johnson trying to put it back, but that goes right into the hands of Tyrese Maxey. Maxey with the ball here. Maxey looking for options. For the moment, it is double team. Maxey gets out to Harris. Harris out to Springer in the corner for 3. Way off, and it's going to be rebounded by Paul Reed. Getting it out to Harris. Harris open for 3 from the wing. No good. It's going to be rebound. I do believe that was Okongwu getting the rebound, and he gets it out to Bogdanovic. Bogdanovic with the layup misses that, but he's going to be fouled by Daniel House Jr. What a block, though, by Jaden Springer. So get that weak stuff out of here, and I'm going to put that basketball in the coffin. First one of the line is good for Bogdan Bogdanovic. Lucas Holman, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you for coming through. Said, yo, I just got back from my basketball tryouts. Hey, appreciate you for coming through. Lucas Holman, pretty sure you hit the like button already, but hit the like button if you haven't done so, Lucas Holman, which I'm sure you've already have. And I appreciate you for coming through to the stream as well. So this guy is great. Hey, I appreciate that, Bleacher. As the second one at the line is good for the Hawks here. And it would be Harris bringing it down the floor, gets it over to Paul Reed. Reed going to his left, gets it over to Tyrese Maxey. Maxey guarded by Trae Young. Maxey looking. Maxey thought about a step back three. Maxey with the floater for two, goes off the front rim and misses. It's going to be rebounded by Jalen Johnson, gets it over to Saddiq Bey, and he'll throw it down with two hands. And a timeout should be called here by Nick Nurse. It's terrible. Like, why is Maxey missing so many shots? Like, this is ridiculous. I get it, though. Maxey hasn't had the ball enough, and he's the point guard for this team. He should be the guy starting out with the ball. Why has he only got 2 shot attempts? Doesn't make sense. You got Tobias Harris already taking 8 shots in the first half. You have Robert Covington, who's likely going to be the smallest contributor out of all these guys, but it makes sense for him to only have 1 shot attempt. And B's got 6 shot attempts. Melton's got 4. Maxey's only got 2 in the starting lineup. Doesn't even make sense. Not to mention, Daniel House Jr. has the same amount of shot attempts as Maxey, and same thing going to Jaden Springer. Why is Maxey not taking more shots as the team's starting point guard? It doesn't make sense. So the point guard is literally always the guy that starts out with the ball. Like, this is ridiculous. It's time for Maxey to go ahead and just, like, get more aggressive. It's time for him to get more aggressive. And it better start after this timeout, because at this point, this is ridiculous with him only having 2 shot attempts in the first half so far. It just doesn't make sense. Coach officially made the team once again for the 3rd year in a row. Hey, Lucas, congrats, my guy. Congrats. TP1, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you coming through as well. Want to also say congratulations to Lucas for making the team again for the 3rd year in a row. Appreciate you for coming through, though, TP1. Hit the like button if you're not done so, TP1, and I appreciate you for coming through to the stream as well. It's nice having the old viewers back in the chat that have been around on the channel for quite some time now. So it's great to have a good amount of the guys back in the chat that have been on the channel for quite some time now. And I appreciate all you guys for coming through and tuning in once again. To end off your week and go into the weekend. I appreciate it. Hey, Lucas, again, congrats, my guy. Go do some things this year for your basketball team. I know you for 3 years, BLSG. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. You basically know me since I started doing YouTube, Lucas. But hey, I appreciate it, though. I appreciate you for being one of the first ones. This dude Maxey needs to get the ball in his hands more. I'm going to tell you that much. Maxey needs to have the ball in his hands more, that's for sure. As Maxey's the ball here for the Sixers. Maxey looking. Maxey going back. Maxey at the top of the key, kicking out to Melton. Melton driving. Melton, the layup. Gets denied off the rim. And here come the Hawks. Saddiq Bey for 3. It's no good. But it's rebounded by the Sixers. Here comes Harris. Harris with the oop to House, and that is an automatic turnover. Here comes Saddiq Bey, and Saddiq Bey will throw one down. The Hawks already with 12 second quarter points. Sixers with a big fat 0. It's time to pick things up. As Melton gets over to Paul Reed. Reed looking, finds Maxey. Maxey pump fakes. Puts it up for 2. And there will be a foul called on Atlanta, and it's going to be on the former Villanova Wildcats, Saddiq Bey. Springer looks like a high school player on offense. Kind of does a little bit, honestly. But the thing is, though, about Jaden Springer is that Nick Nurse is going to give him every let me say that again. The thing is with Jaden Springer is that Nick Nurse is going to give Jaden Springer every opportunity that he can possibly get. Did Doc Rivers ever do that? Did he ever want to play with the young guys? No, he wanted to play with all the veterans because he knew how they were going to play. He didn't know how the young ones were going to play. He's giving guys like Jaden Springer some time to show what he's got. He might not have the most efficient night, but it's better to show what he has than what he doesn't. Than not play him at all. As the second one at the line is also good for Tyrese Maxey. As DeJounte Murray gets over to Bogdan Bogdanovic, gets over to DeAndre Hunter, who puts up a 2, no good. Rebounded by Tobias Harris. Here we go. Maxey with the ball here for the Sixers. Maxey coming inside. Maxey with the floater for 2, and it's good. There we go, Tyrese. There we go. All right, let's go. Come on. As Murray gets it over to DeAndre Hunter, over to Bogdanovic, over to, I do believe that's Okongwu. Okongwu spinning around Reed, laying it up and laying it in for 2 is Onyeka Okongwu. Sixers looking to stay in this one. Down by 4. Maxey with the ball gets it out to Reed. Reed, the floater for 2 is no good. It's rebounded by Robert Covington. Covington out to Melton. Melton, the 3-ball. Good for DeAnthony Melton. Let's go. Let's go, D-Melt. Making it a 1-point game here in Atlanta. Let's go. Here we go. Here's DeAndre Hunter with the ball. Hunter gets it over to Bogdanovic. Bogdanovic gets it over to DeAndre Hunter, over to Okongwu. Okongwu back to Hunter. Hunter looking. Hunter guarded by Maxey. Hunter coming inside. Hunter with the floater for 2. It's no good. Rebounded by Saddiq Bey. Saddiq Bey loses it. And Maxey takes it away. Maxey with the steal. Maxey with the layup. No good. Harris tried to rebound it. That's no good either. That's going to be Bogdanovic with the rebound here for the Hawks. Bogdanovic taking the 3. That's no good. It's going to be rebounded by Saddiq Bey. Bey gets double teamed. Rocco steals it. And somehow in the world they do not call a foul on the Sixers. But I'm not complaining, though, to say the least. But the Sixers with the turnover of their own, as Bey gets over to Murray, back over to Bey, puts it up and puts it in for 2 and 1 for the Hawks coming up, as the foul is going to be called on Paul Reed. We just need to be better with these defensive fouls that are going on from the Sixers. Overall, we just need to be better in just not being called with fouls so much. We have to be better. And the 3-point play is going to be completed by Saddiq Bey. And the Hawks back up by 4 as Embiid gets out to Harris for 3. That's no good. It's going to be rebounded by Robert Covington. Gets it out to Melton, over to Harris. Harris going to drive, and he'll throw it down with 2 grown man hands. And just like that, the Sixers are pulling within 2. As Murray has the ball here, gets over to Okongwu. Okongwu gets it over to Bogdanovic. Bogdanovic gets over to Hunter, over to Murray. Murray going to fade away for 2. No good. It's going to be rebounded by Harris. Here comes Toby. Toby kicking out to Rocco. Covington for 3. Good for Robert Covington. Okay, Rocco. Let's go. I like that. I like the baskets whenever we can get them off the bench. That'll be a timeout here by Quinn Snyder. And just like that, the Sixers will pull ahead with the lead after a Tobias Harris dunk. And then after that, a Tobias Harris assist and passing out to the corner over to Robert Covington to give the Sixers a 1-point lead over the Hawks with under 5.5 minutes left to go here in the first half. Gotta love it. Let's go. Gotta love it. But I mean, TV1, to be fair though about Jaden Springer, he is still very young. I think he's only been in the league for, what, 2 years now? I think it's only been 2 years that Jaden Springer has been in the league. Am I right? Am I right on Jaden Springer? Only 2 years? I think this would be his 3rd year with Philly. I'm pretty sure. Yep, this is Jaden Springer's 3rd year as a Sixer. Three seasons in for Jaden Springer. Yep. So yeah, TP1, you can't argue the fact that Jaden Springer is still a very young player. That's why he still looks like a high school kid. We just said, "Yo, Lucas, time flies." Yeah, it feels like I just started doing this yesterday. But the Sixers have been able to compete, though, to say the least. They've been able to compete with this Hawks team, and that's what you want to see with every single game, whether if it's the NBA in-season tournament, whether if it's a regular season game, no matter when it is. Even if it's a playoff game, this is what you want to see. You want to see the Sixers compete with some of these better teams, not just in the Eastern Conference, but just in the NBA in general. This is what you want to see right here. Here we go. Trae Young bringing the ball down the floor here for the Hawks, guarded by DeAnthony Melton. Young going inside. Young stepping in. And that's denied by Embiid immediately. So get that out of here as he gets it over to Maxey, over to Melton. Melton finds Maxey. Maxey in the lane, laying it up for 2, right past Capella. And that's good for Tyrese Maxey. Let's go. That guy right there. That's right. As Trae Young gets it over to Capella. Capella guarded by Embiid. Gets it over to Jalen Johnson, over to Trae Young. Trae Young guarded by Covington. Gets it over to DeAndre Hunter. Hunter guarded by Maxey. Hunter putting it up for 2, and it's good for DeAndre Hunter. I also view DeAndre Hunter to be a little bit underrated, too, as a role player. As Maxey's the ball here for the Sixers. Maxey going to his left. Finds Embiid. Embiid from the free throw line for 2, and it's good for Joel Embiid. You best believe whenever Joel Embiid shoots from the free throw line, flat-footed, it's butter every time. And the layup here for DeAndre Hunter is good again. This is why I'm saying DeAndre Hunter is one of those underrated players that you can't seem to overlook. Can't seem to overlook a guy like DeAndre Hunter. As Maxey tries to get it over to Embiid, and that's denied, but goes right into the hands of Beverly. Over to Embiid for 2, and Embiid will be fouled by Clint Capella. Embiid will go to the line here to shoot 2. Having a chance to make this a 3-point lead for the Sixers. Embiid with 13 first-half points, as well as 3 rebounds and 4 assists to go with it. In addition to 1 steal as well. First one on the line for Embiid is good. Second one on the line for Embiid is also good to give the Sixers a 3-point lead. Sixers 11 of 11 from the free throw line. Hawks 7 of 9. As Trae Young shoots a 3, and that's no good. Patrick Beverley gets the rebound. Beverley finds Embiid. Embiid loses the ball, gets it back, finds Maxey at the logo. Maxey going to his left. Maxey finds Embiid. Embiid, again, another shot, no good. It's going to be rebounded by DeJounte Murray. Murray going to drive all the way down, and he'll miss it. Embiid might have got a piece of that. As it was picked up by Robert Covington into the hands of Maxey. Maxey driving with the layup, and that's denied by Jalen Johnson. But it will stay with the Sixers. As Maxey inbounds it to Embiid, gets it over to Robert Covington. Covington guarded by DeAndre Hunter. Covington gets it out to Maxey. Maxey going to his left around an Embiid screen. Maxey taking the 3 ball, and it's good for Tyrese Maxey. Let's go, Tyrese. That's what we're talking about right there. That's the point guard version of Tyrese Maxey that I know. As Trae Young has the ball here, guarded by Robert Covington, gets it over to Capella. Capella guarded by Embiid. Capella rolling it like a bowling ball over to Trae Young, who will float it up, and he will miss it. But a foul is going to be called on, who are they calling it on here? Did they call it on Melton, or did they call it on Robert Covington? They called it on Robert Covington. First one on the line for Trae Young is good. Second one on the line for Trae Young is good as well. Trae Young says, let's make it a game here. Let's make them work for it. Here we go. Here's Maxey with the ball. Maxey gets it to Embiid. Embiid with the jump shot for 2, and it's no good. It's going to be rebounded by the Hawks. Hunter with another 3, and it's good again for DeAndre Hunter. Right now, this guy can't miss. Again, it's why I say he's one of the more underrated players in the league. As Embiid has the ball, finds Tobias Harris just barely, gets out to Maxey in the corner for 3. No good for Maxey, and Capella gets the rebound. Here comes Trae Young over to Jalen Johnson. That's just too easy. Stop giving them open lanes, Sixers. What are we doing? What are we giving them open lanes to the basketball? I thought Nick Nurse wanted to see some hustle. And Embiid bulldozed over, was it DeAndre Hunter? Or was it Capella? They're going to show the replay of it, I do believe. Yeah, Embiid absolutely bulldozed over Clint Capella for sure. And I do believe they did call an offensive foul, and they did. As Trae Young brings it down the floor, floats it up, and floats it in. To give the Hawks a 3-point lead over the Sixers. Sixers looking to tie with about a minute to go. As Maxey gets over to Melton, over to Covington, gets over to Embiid. Embiid finds Melton. Melton, another 3. No good. Going to be rebounded by Covington. Covington out to Maxey for 3. Bang! Let's go! That's what we're talking about, Tyrese. Way to bounce back and step up when it matters most. Let's go! Way to hit it, Tyrese. As Trae Young shoots a 3, that comes up short. Capella gets the rebound. Out to Trae Young. Trae Young guarded by Harris. Trae Young faking the step back. Finds Jalen Johnson going up for 2. And he'll be fouled on this one. And I think they called it on Embiid. Yep. Foul called on Joel Embiid. Jalen Johnson going to the line and shoot the. Why didn't we get? Wait, did he make the recent shot? I thought he just got fouled. I guess they just didn't show the first free throw, but apparently he did end up making both. As Embiid as the ball gets over to Maxey. Maxey inside the three-point line. Gets it over to Embiid. Embiid guarded by Capella. Embiid dancing. Embiid with the fadeaway two. No good. It's going to be rebounded by Jalen Johnson. Now he'll give it over to Trae Young. Trae Young guarded by DeAnthony Melton. Young going to his left. Trae Young guarded by Harris. Trae Young gets out to Murray. For three in the corner. No good. It's going to be rebounded by Robert Covington, who will get it over to Maxey. Maxey to Harris. Harris is going to throw it down. And he will get the and one opportunity here, and he'll head to the free throw line to shoot one more and a chance for a three-point play. Pick it up, Tobias. Let's go. And that was about with 3 seconds on the shot clock, I think. If not that, about 4. Tobias Harris with 10 points on the night. 5 of 11 from the field for Toby. Looking at least put one more to his stat line for the first half. See Patrick Beverly out on the floor here for the Sixers, probably just looking for defense. They should have Daniel House out there for one defense out there. As Tobias Harris does make the free throw. Now Jalen Johnson just has to release it to Young. Young coming in, putting up for 2. Didn't get the shot off, and that is how the first half comes to a close. After a slow start to the second quarter from the Philadelphia 76ers, they find a way to generate 27 points in the second quarter, and they still hang on to the lead, just barely, by 1 point over the Atlanta Hawks at halftime, 57-56. And ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we have approached halftime. The Hawks definitely did cover some ground, though. I will tell you guys that right now. They definitely went ahead and covered some ground right there in the second half. They're putting the pressure on the Sixers right now. I'm going to guarantee you guys that. They're putting pressure on the Sixers. They're definitely putting pressures on the Sixers, though, to say the least. But ladies and gents, on that note, we're going to go ahead and go over the first half stats, and then we're going to go ahead and take the overtime, We're going to take the halftime break like we always do after we go over the halftime stats. So starting off on the Philadelphia 76ers side, Joel Embiid leads the way for the Philadelphia 76ers, wrapping up the first half with 15 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, as well as a steal. Tyrese Maxey, after his sluggish start, finishes the first half with 12 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists. Tobias Harris then following it up in the starting lineup, finishing the first half with 11 points, 4 rebounds, as well as an assist and a steal each. Then following that up is DeAnthony Melton, finishing the first half with 8 points, a rebound, and 2 assists. Then following that up was Robert Covington, finishing the first half with 6 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, as well as 2 steals and a block. And then wrapping up the first half stats off the bench is Daniel House Jr., finishing the first half with 5 points and 2 rebounds to end off the first half stats for your Philadelphia 76ers. Now over to the Atlanta Hawks side now, as Jalen Johnson is actually the Atlanta Hawks leading scorer so far in the first half, finishing the first half with 10 points, 7 rebounds, as well as an assist and a block each. Then Trae Young following it up with 9 points, a rebound, and 8 assists, as well as a steal. DeAndre Hunter in the starting lineup, finishing up the first half with 7 points as well as a rebound. Then off the bench, you had Saddiq Bey finishing the first half with 7 points, 4 rebounds, and a steal. And then Bogdan Bogdanović with 7 points, 2 rebounds, as well as an assist and a steal each. Then you had Clint Capella finishing the first half with 5 points, 4 rebounds, as well as an assist. DeJounte Murray finishing the first half with 5 points, a rebound, and 2 assists. Onyeka Okongwu finished the first half with 5 points and 4 rebounds. And then wrapping up the first half stats goes to Wesley Matthews, finishing the first half with 1 point straight up to end off the first half stats for the Atlanta Hawks. Now into the team stats now, as the Atlanta Hawks are shooting the ball 44.4% from the field to the Philadelphia 76ers 42.2%. The Philadelphia 76ers are shooting the ball 43.8% from three-point range to the Atlanta Hawks 31.3%. The Philadelphia 76ers are shooting a perfect 12 of 12 from the free throw line to the Atlanta Hawks 84.6%, shooting 11 of 13 from the free throw line. The Atlanta Hawks have out-rebounded the Philadelphia 76ers in the first half overall 24-22. However, when it comes to the offensive rebounds, both teams have 7 offensive rebounds each. The Philadelphia 76ers have out-assisted the Atlanta Hawks at the end of the first half 14-13. The Philadelphia 76ers have more steals than the Atlanta Hawks at the end of the first half 4-3. The Sixers with more blocks than the Atlanta Hawks 3-1. The Atlanta Hawks currently winning the turnover battle over the Philadelphia 76ers right now 7-6. The Hawks with more points in the paint than the Philadelphia 76ers 30-22. And a total of 18 personal fouls called, with 9 personal fouls called on each team. And ladies and gents, that is how the first half stats come to a close, with the Philadelphia 76ers hanging on slightly over the Atlanta Hawks. One thing I do want to see change for the second half, though, is limiting those turnovers. Nick Nurse does not want to see this team turning the ball over, and obviously wants the team showing hustle. That's another thing I want to see going into the second half for Nick Nurse's squad. But, ladies and gents, on that note, we're going to go ahead and take the halftime break like we always do. The majority of you guys for sure should know how this works, but any new viewers in here, man, how it works is just pretty plain and simple. Go get a snack, go get a drink, go to the bathroom, do whatever you guys need to do in order to get ready for the second half matchup between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Atlanta Hawks in this matchup of group play for the NBA in-season tournament. And ladies and gents, on that note, I will see you all back here for the second half. All right, guys, I am back, ready to go here for the second half, as the second half is actually underway, as Embiid kicks it out to Maxey. Maxey with the layup for two, no good. It's going to be rebounded here by Trae Young. Trae Young gets it over to DeJounte Murray. Murray gets it over to DeAndre Hunter. Hunter over to Trae Young. Trae Young just chucking up a shot. They're going to say it's a foul on the floor. So it will be an inbound pass here for Atlanta. But Jalen Johnson here will do the inbound pass. He inbounds it to Trae Young. Trae Young guarded by DeAnthony Melton. Trae Young standing at the logo. Gets it over to DeAndre Hunter. Hunter coming inside. Hunter pump faking the first time. Puts it up for two and puts it in off the glass. And gives the Hawks the lead right back to start the second half. Here we go as Maxey has the ball here for the Sixers. Maxey going to drive, kick it out to Harris. Harris the three from the wing, and it's good. A sniper from Tobias Harris. Just went ahead and shot that as a sniper rifle. Let's go. As DeJounte Murray has the ball here, comes inside, gets it over to Capella. Capella, the layup is good, right past Embiid. Made that look like child's play, getting it past Joel. As Maxey has the ball here, guarded by DeJounte Murray. Maxey gets it to Embiid. Embiid to Melton. Melton the two. No good. Rocco back out to Embiid. That's no good, but a foul is going to be called on Atlanta. And it's going to be, once again, on Jalen Johnson. And it looks like we got a technical foul here as Maxey is at the free throw line. As it looks like they called a technical foul here on DeAndre Hunter. And indeed they did. And now they tossed him out of the game. So DeAndre Hunter has been tossed. He has been ejected. So no more DeAndre Hunter for the rest of the night. And subbing in for DeAndre Hunter is going to be Saddiq Bey. So it looks like Saddiq Bey is going to get a good amount of the run for the rest of the game in replacement of DeAndre Hunter. Maxey does make the technical foul free throw. So now Embiid will get back to the line from the foul that was called on DeAndre Hunter. First one on the line for Embiid is good. Making a 3-point Sixers lead. Embiid looking to go 2 for 2 from the line on this trip, which he does, and gives the Sixers a 4-point lead over the Atlanta Hawks. Joel Embiid with 17 points, 8 of those have come from the free throw line. As DeJounte Murray has the ball, doesn't get it to go, and the Sixers come away with the rebound. As a matter of fact, it is Joel Embiid with the rebound as Melton gets it back to Embiid. Embiid pump fakes 3 times. The layup is good for Joel Embiid off the glass. Let's go, Joel. That's a grown man play. Let's go. Way to put your body out there. As Trae Young has the ball going to his left. Trae Young kicking it out to Jalen Johnson. Johnson driving, fading away on this one for 2, and it's good for Jalen Johnson. Here we go. Here's Maxey with the ball. Maxey going to his right. Maxey gets it over to Harris for the moment, and it's a turnover for the Sixers. Trae Young with the pass over to Jalen Johnson, and that is absolutely demolished by DeAnthony Melton to swat it away. From DeJounte Murray actually being the one trying to attempt the layup. And DeAnthony Melton says, "Get that weak stuff out of here." We can send that to a couple of rows in the seats instead of sending it to the basket. As Trae Young puts it up for Clint Capella, gets it to go, and one for Clint Capella, as he will have an opportunity to make it a 3-point play and a chance to make it a 1-point game. Looks like he did get hit in the head a little bit as he was grabbing his head a couple times on the alley-oop from Trae Young. So yeah, it looks like that's going to be a foul called on Robert Covington. And they'll take a timeout here, probably give Clint Capella a chance to reset here after getting hit in the head by Robert Covington. That's probably the main reason why Quinn Snyder's calling this timeout. Probably because he's probably going to let Clint Capella get refocused here. Yeah, guys, overall, though, the Sixers are still finding a way to hang on to the lead right now. Embiid just doing what he can. Maxey getting hot to end off the first half. Harris just doing his thing. Even getting some shots up from Melton. Getting a little production off the bench from Daniel House Jr. I want to see Jaden Springer get some more minutes here in the second half outside of garbage time. Outside of garbage time, I want to see Jaden Springer get some more minutes here. As Capella attempts the free throw to attempt the 3-point play, and it is good for Clint Capella. So the Hawks now down by 1 here to the Sixers with under 10 minutes left to go in the third. As Embiid has the ball, gets inside. Tried to put it up, had it stripped by Atlanta. They're going to call it out of bounds off the Hawks, and it is going to be Sixers ball with 17 seconds on the shot clock. Ryan Rowe, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you coming through. Said DeAnthony Melton's getting more plays to provide more production. Springer is getting more minutes in this game. That's facts. He actually did get some minutes in the first half. Harris needs to inbound it quick. And never had the chance to do so as the Hawks were clamping up on defense. And that is going to be, I think, what is it, a 5-second violation or an 8-second violation? I forget what that's called. As Jalen Johnson tries to go up here for the layup, cannot get it to go, but it's going to be a foul called, do believe, on DeAnthony Melton. Yeah, that's what I thought it was called. I thought it was called a 5-second violation. First one on the line for Jalen Johnson is good. Come on, Sixers. We got to fight. We got to stay in this game. Ryan Rowe, if you have not done so, my guy, hit the like button on the stream, and appreciate you for coming through as well. Appreciate you for coming through, Ryan Rowe. Be sure to hit the like button if you have not done so. Come on, Sixers. We got to be better. Got to be better with the defense, and got to be better when we get the offense going. As Melton has the ball, gets it over to Embiid. Embiid guarded by Capella. Embiid trying to find a man, gets out to Covington. Covington with the layup, then that's denied by Jalen Johnson. Capella will pick it up and get it right back over to Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson out to Saddiq Bey. Out to Murray for three. No good. It's going to be rebounded by Capella. Capella gets right by Embiid and puts it in. Come on, Sixers. Where's the defense? Come on. Wake up. W. Lane Quinn Snyder be one of those coaches that can adjust in a phenomenal way. Let's go here. As Harris has the ball here for the Sixers. Harris guarded by Capella. Gets it out to Melton. Melton going to drive. Melton denied again by Jalen Johnson. It'll be out of bounds, but it will stay with the Sixers. 6 seconds left on the shot clock here for Philly. Jalen Johnson really does not get the credit that he deserves for his defense. Jalen Johnson's got 3 blocks in this game. 14 points and 3 blocks for Jalen Johnson. That's who all the blocks have come from, is Embiid with the fadeaway 2, and it's good for Joel Embiid. Yeah, all the blocks for the Hawks have actually all come from Jalen Johnson. As Murray has the ball, gets it over to Trae Young in the corner. Trae Young coming out of the corner, coming inside towards the paint, puts it up and puts it in for 2. Come on, Sixers. You got to find a way to defend it inside the paint here. Let's go. As Maxey sees the ball here, guarded by DeJounte Murray. Maxey going to his right, gets it back over to Embiid. Embiid, guarded by Capella. Embiid looking for an option, finds Maxey. Shot clock winds down. Maxey looking, finds Beverly needs to get it off, takes the shot, that's airballed. But it actually is going to result in a shot clock violation because it never made it to the basket. Come on, Sixers. I need some defense right here. Let's go. Who's going to step up in the best way? Let's go. Who's going to step up in the biggest way possible? Trae with the ball, breaking ankles on DeAnthony Melton. Trae Young kicking out to Jalen Johnson, shooting a 3 from the wing. That comes up short, and it's going to be DeAnthony Melton once again with the rebound here for the Sixers. Gets the pass over to Maxey, who shoots the 3, and it's going to be a little short. Off the front rim and misses, and it's going to be rebounded here by Atlanta. As Murray gets it over to Bey, back to Murray. Murray over to Capella. Capella, the layup, no good, and Melton gets the rebound. Gets it over to Maxey. Maxey spins. The layup is no good, but he will be fouled. I do believe he did get fouled on the play. I mean, Maxey will go to the line to shoot 2. And it'll be a foul called on Trae Young. So, yes, indeed, it is a foul called on Atlanta. Trae Young specifically. Yeah, it's crazy how Jalen Johnson has all 3 of the Atlanta Hawks blocks right now. This man, Jalen Johnson, in this game has been absolute menace on defense today. In Jalen Johnson's career, he doesn't even put up a block per game. So it's 0.4 of a block per game. This guy is going to be one of the most underrated defensive players in the future. Watch. I'm telling you guys, though, Jalen Johnson does not get enough credit for his defense. I'm telling you. But come on, Sixers. We need to respond, though. Need somebody to respond here. The Hawks are getting our number right now. Someone needs to get back on the winning ways here. We're on a 2-game losing streak, Sixers, losing to both the Pacers and the Celtics. We need to bounce back in some sort of way. Make the adjustments when they matter most, guys. Come on. Let's go. Also, Jaden Springer had 2 blocks in this game. He had 2 out of the 4 blocks for the Sixers so far. The other 2 coming with 1 from Robert Covington and the other one from DeAnthony Melton. Coast-to-coast coverage from Wednesday night. Damian Lillard with 37 points on Wednesday. Kevin Durant with 31 points and Domantas Sabonis with 29. Sabonis actually had a double-double for the Kings on Wednesday with 29.6 rebounds and 7 assists. Damian Lillard also had a double-double with 13 assists as well, shooting 9 of 18 from the field as Maxey gets it over to Melton. Melton gets it over to Embiid. Embiid guarded by Capella. Embiid trying to find Bev. Harris picks it up, but it is going to go out of bounds before it goes into the hands of Tobias Harris, and it's going to go to Atlanta. If I'm Nick Nurse, I'm getting up off the bench because I'm sick and tired of seeing Nick Nurse's butt on the bench all the time. Nick Nurse, you can never be confident with all these older vets on the floor. As Murray gets it over to Saddiq Bey, gets it over to Jalen Johnson. Johnson backing into Patrick Beverley. Johnson fading away on this one for 2, and it's good for Jalen Johnson. Seriously, come on, guys. Get it together. Let's go. As Max sees the ball here for the Sixers, gets it over to Harris. Harris at the top of the key, finds Patrick Beverley. Beverley finds Embiid. Embiid guarded by Capella. Embiid kicking it out to Maxey. Over to Harris. Harris open for 3. Good for Tobias Harris. Thank you, Toby. Thank you. Give us some life here, Tobias. Let's go. Get us back in this game with these guys. We got to fight to the very end here. Let's go. Murray shooting the 3 from the wing. No good. Harris gets the rebound. And he'll get it over to Maxey. As Maxey will bring it down the floor. Maxey gets it over to Embiid, back to Maxey. Maxey going to get back to Embiid. Embiid pump fakes. Kicks out to Harris. Harris driving. Harris going to find Embiid. Embiid open for 2, and it's good for Joel Embiid from about the free throw line. Let's go. Whenever Embiid's flat-footed from the free throw line, you best believe it's guaranteed he is going to make a 2-pointer just like so from the mid-range. As Trae Young kicks it out to Saddiq Bey over to DeJounte Murray for 3. No good. It's going to be rebounded. No, it's actually going to be put up and in from Saddiq Bey, and 1 coming for Atlanta. A massive play right there for Atlanta to take a 2-point lead over the Sixers. After the missed 3-pointer, Melton could just never seem to get the defensive rebound, and then Saddiq Bey was just able to put it up and in off the glass. About 5 minutes left to go here in the third. 3-point play is completed by Saddiq Bey to give the Hawks a 3-point lead over the Sixers. Here we go. As Beverley gets it over to Embiid. Embiid guarded by Clint Capella. Embiid looking for an option. Embiid can't seem to find one. Embiid looking. Embiid gets it to Daniel House Jr. Back to Embiid. Embiid fakes against Capella. Puts one up for 2, and it's good for Joel Embiid. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, we're not done yet. Let's go here. Come on. As Murray has the ball, gets it over to Bogdanović, back over to Murray. Murray guarded by Beverley. Murray going to drive, lose the ball, and Melton's going to pick it up. All right, let's go here. Melton kicks it out to Beverley. Beverley out to Maxey, wide open in the corner for 3. And it's good for Tyrese Maxey. Let's go. Maxey with 17 points here. Let's go. Top 3 contributors on the night. Embiid, Harris, Maxey. It's what we got to see every night. Jalen Johnson pulling up for 2. No good. And Beverley gets the defensive rebound. Here come the Sixers. He gets over to Maxey. Maxey, the layup. No good, but he will be fouled. Do we think this is going to be a foul called on? I do believe it is going to be on Jalen Johnson. No, it's going to be on Bogdan Bogdanovic, actually. First one on the line for Tyrese Maxey is good. Come on, let's go. As you see Embiid getting a drink of water, and Jaden Springer will check into the game here for the Sixers, replacing DeAnthony Melton. So looks like Jaden Springer is going to be playing the 2 here, so we're going to go with a bit of a 3-guard formation here. A bit small minus Embiid, because then you're going to have Pat Bev as one of the 3 guards in the 3-guard formation, and then you're having Daniel House going at the 4. So a bit of a small lineup here, minus Joel Embiid, as Bogdanovic has the ball here for the Hawks. Tries to get it up, and that's denied by Embiid. Gets it over to House. House, the layup is good. Let's go, Daniel. Atta boy, let's go. Stay aggressive. Let's go. You're in a Nick Nurse-led system. Should know how to play ball under his system. Never a system under Doc Rivers. As Murray gets over to Bogdanovic. Bogdanovic with the layup. No good. And Daniel House Jr. gets the rebound. Gets over to Maxey. Maxey with the ball. Gets it to Embiid. Back to Maxey. Maxey back to Embiid. Over to House. And that's too easy for Daniel House Jr. Right under the basket. That's what we're talking about. Timeout call by Quinn Snyder. I love this all day. Embiid says, get that weak stuff out of here. To House. House with the layup right there. That was the first one. And then Embiid passing it back over to House under the basket for 2. Timeout call by Quinn Snyder with under 3 minutes left to go in the third. Let's go. I want to see some more of these bench guys get involved, though. I need to see Marcus Morris taking a couple shots. So far, he's looked like a bust in a part of this James Harden trade. He's looked like a bust so far. Like, he hasn't really paid off. Like, when was the last time he had a good game? It's probably with the Clippers. He has a combined 5 points in a span of 4 games, basically ever since NBA group play started for the NBA in-season tournament. Yeah, but overall, though, Marcus Morris has just not been that great this year ever since becoming a member of the Sixers team. I'm glad, though, that Robert Covington has kind of been able to step up a little bit, though. I'm not even going to lie. Robert Covington still has a little bit left in the tank. I'm not going to lie. He's been solid for the small amount that he has left in the tank. Robert Covington's been really solid. Age Roberson says Clippers winless in the James Harden era. Yeah, they have all that star power of Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George, and they're not doing anything. They ain't doing nothing. A lot of people were probably scared of the Clippers, but note they had to give up all their bench pieces. They had to give up all their bench pieces. They had to send them elsewhere. Mainly it was to us, giving us Marcus Morris, as well as KJ Martin, Robert Covington, Rocco, Marcus Morris, KJ Martin, forget who else there was here. I thought there was like one more piece. But if there wasn't, that was all there was. As Trae Young gets it over to Onyeka Okongwu, back over to Trae Young. Trae Young trying to bully against Jaden Springer. It's going to be a blocking foul on Springer. And I don't think Trae Young shot it, though. So it should just be an inbound pass here for Atlanta. Was it a shooting foul? I guess it was. Because Trae Young is going to the line to shoot 2 free throws. First one on the line for Trae Young is good. Second one at the line is also good for Trae Young. Hawks still down by 6, though, as Patrick Beverley gets it over to Maxey. Maxey driving on Wesley Matthews, gets it over to Jaden Springer. Springer with the reverse layup. It's good. Let's go, Jaden Springer. Way to put something off the bench. Let's go. Get more players involved outside of Daniel House Jr. as Bogdanovic comes up short on the long-range 3, and then Embiid comes away with the defensive rebound. And passes all the way over to Maxey. Maxey finds Embiid. Embiid just put that right into the hands of Bogdan Bogdanovic, and the Hawks come away with the steal. Bogdanovic shoots the 3 from the wing, and it is good for Bogdan Bogdanovic. The Hawks aren't going to go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. They're not going to go anywhere. They're going to be like little ants. They're going to be all over. They're going to stay in the game. As Beverley gets it over to Maxey. Maxey going to drive, and he will be fouled by Atlanta again. The Sixers look to win their second quarter out of 3 so far. Depending on what happens here in the last few minutes, as Beverley inbounds it to Embiid, back to Beverley. Beverley gets it over to Maxey. Maxey over to Embiid, back to Maxey. Maxey back to Embiid. Embiid looking for an option. Can't find one. Embiid fading away from the free throw line. No good. Springer trying to get the ball. Maxey picks it up. Doesn't make the shot. And they're going to call, I think, an offensive foul on Jaden Springer. Springer's just had one of those nights. I mean, it's not Jaden Springer's fault that he collided with Wesley Matthews. I mean, arguably he didn't even see him. And Patrick Beverley wants to talk to the ref. Let him know what's up. But Wesley Matthews will go to the line here to shoot 2. First one on the line for Wesley Matthews is no good. Sixers need to have more forward momentum, though, going into the fourth. Second one at the line is good for Wesley Matthews. Here we go. Patrick Beverley has the ball. Beverley is the new point guard. As he starts with the ball, gets it over to Maxey, back to Beverley, over to Maxey. Maxey finds Embiid. Embiid looking, kicking it out to House. House in the corner for 3. Good for Daniel House Jr. Daniel House Jr. in this game really looked like the 6th man off the bench right now. As Trae Young lost the ball, the foul is going to be called on Patrick Beverley, for sure. What a job tonight, though, by Daniel House Jr. 12 points, 3 rebounds, no assists, and not like a single defensive stat between steals and blocks. But the bench scoring, though, is what we want to see. And I'll guarantee when Kelly Oubre comes back, and same thing with Nico Batum, especially for Kelly Oubre's sake, they're both going to be on the bench and potentially on like a minutes restriction. I mean, Nico Batum will probably give whatever minutes he gets, but Kelly Oubre especially, I think, is going to be on a minutes restriction when he comes back, based on all the time that he's going to have off. As Maxey, as the ball gets over to Beverly, over to Springer. Springer up the baseline. Springer kicking it out to House. House in the corner for three again. Shoots a little bit too far to the right, but Embiid clean up the garbage. And it'll be an and one coming up here for Joel Embiid. Let's go, Joel. Foul's called on, it looks like on Onyeka Okongwu. And yes, it will. What a job right there by Joel Embiid. Cleaning up the glass after the missed Daniel House Jr. 3. That's what we got to see. We got to see the guys under the basket. I understand we got to get back on defense, but at times you got to have players under the basket that can collect the offensive rebounds. It's just what you need. Under a minute left to go here. Sixers with an 8-point lead as Trae Young has the ball. Trae Young guarded again by Jaden Springer. Trae Young looking, still looking. Trae Young from nearly half court, and he sinks it again. Trae Young has just been one of those dudes. But Embiid with the ball now. Embiid looking. Finds Maxey. Back to Embiid. To Springer. Springer the last shot potentially. No good. But a foul's going to be called here on Atlanta. And again, it's going to be on Onyeka Okongwu. But it is going to be an inbound pass, though, it looks like. No, it's actually going to be Patrick Beverly going to the free throw line. Yeah, Beverly got tossed to the floor by Okongwu. I ain't even going to lie. First one on the line for Patrick Beverly is good. Second one on the line for Pat Bev is good as well. Giving the Sixers a 7-point lead. They'll just inbound it and won't even bother getting the shot off. As going into the fourth quarter, still a close game, under 10 points apart, but the Sixers with a 7-point lead, though, over the Atlanta Hawks at the end of the third by a score of 94-87 as we go to the fourth quarter with the Philadelphia 76ers with a 7-point lead. All right, guys, one more quarter. Sixers have won 2 out of 3 quarters so far. The only quarter they did not win out of the first 3 quarters was the second quarter, where the Atlanta Hawks outscored the Sixers 32-27. But apart from that, Sixers in the first quarter outscored the Hawks 30-24, and in the third quarter they outscored the Hawks 37-31. So great job by the Sixers, though. Player that has definitely stepped up in this game, Daniel House Jr. by a landslide. I don't care what you say. Daniel House Jr. has really stepped it up for the bench tonight. 4 of 6 from the field, 1 of 3 from three-point range. I don't care what you say. Daniel House Jr. has found a way to step up tonight. And this is what we've been waiting for how long now? We've been waiting for this for forever. Someone that can score off the bench. Now, we're going to need him to be consistent, though. If he's consistent, then this bench can really give team some issues, as well as the starting lineup for every team. For this team especially. So, in addition to the starting lineup of this team, the bench can really give opponents issues whenever a bench player or two has to come in. But again, like I said before, they have to be consistent, though. That's the only thing, though, I have against this bench, is that barely anybody's consistent on this bench. Like, are we really going to think Daniel House Jr. is going to find a way to stay consistent every night and drop double-digit points to be a guy that can be our sixth man? I don't think so. So the bench needs to find a way to step up as the fourth quarter has begun. Trae Young gets over to Bogdanovich, over to Jalen Johnson for 2, and that's good for Jalen Johnson to start the quarter for Atlanta. As Daniel House gets it over to DeAnthony Melton. Melton gets it over to Harris. Harris looking, backing up, finds Daniel House Jr. House is now looking. Guarded by Trae Young, gets over to Jaden Springer. Springer finding Harris. Harris looking. Harris going to drive, going to spin. Harris thinking about a fadeaway, puts it up for 2, gets it to go, and 1 for Tobias Harris. And he'll head to the line to go for 1 more, as the foul is going to be called on the former Milwaukee Buck in Wesley Matthews. But Tobias Harris overall has just found a way to play like one of those dudes that just steps up under a new coaching staff, a whole new system. You gotta love it. 3-point play is completed by Toby. Here we go. Trae Young gets it over to Jalen Johnson, over to Bogdanovich for 3. It's no good. It's going to be rebounded by Tobias Harris. Here we go, as Harris has the ball here, gets over to Melton. Melton, a high-arcing triple, and it is no good. It rims out. It's going to be rebounded here by the Hawks. Trae Young with the ball going to his right. Trae Young going to lay it up, and he will be fouled on the play by DeAnthony Melton. First one on the line for Trae Young is good. You see a little bit of grabbing on the play, though, by Trae Young, to say the least. Or not by Trae Young, by DeAnthony Melton. Trae Young with 20 points right now, only shooting 40% from the field, though, shooting 4 of 10. As Melton gets over to Reed. Reed with the layup is good. Sixers now with an 8-point lead over the Hawks. With about 10 minutes left to go here in the game. As Trae Young has the ball here for Atlanta. Trae Young guarded by Springer. Gets over to Bogdanovich. Who's left wide open for 3, and he gets it. You guys need to find a way to lock up these dudes. Stop trying to double team. Stop trying to double team, guys. They're all humans. You got to pick a man and stick with them. As House again, wide open from the top of the key for 3. Misses it. Springer gets the rebound. Out to Melton for 3. He gets it to go. Let's go, D-Melt. Get DeAnthony Melton now into double figures with 11 points tonight. Anthony Melton's also done a solid job. I mean, he's going to be one of those guys that gets the lesser amount of points for the Sixers in the starting 5, as a 3-year by Wesley Matthews does not go, and Harris gets the defensive rebound here for the Sixers. And now he'll bring it down the floor here for Philly. He'll find DeAnthony Melton. Melton will fall down. Trae Young stares him down. I'm not even sure what Trae Young is doing to DeAnthony Melton. He's just staring him down like, he's like, what are you doing? He's like, what are you doing falling back? But still, regardless, though, it's a 102-94 lead. Hawks looking to continue to bounce back. Sixers shooting 46% from three, and Atlanta shooting 31%. Murray drops it off to Okongwu for two. Can't get it to go. Gets it stuck in the rim, actually. Melton's able to free it. It will be a foul on the Sixers, though, I do believe. Actually, no, they're just going to do a jump ball at center court between Onyeka Okongwu and Paul Reed. And the tip is won by Onyeka Okongwu. Again, the Sixers still with an 8-point lead over the Hawks. Young gets it over to Saddiq Bey, back over to, or rather, that's DeJounte Murray over to Saddiq Bey, back to Murray, over to Bey. Bey guarded by Springer. Bey trying to kick it out. Springer absolutely swats it out of here. But it doesn't matter because the foul was called on the Sixers. And probably was called on Jaden Springer, to be honest. And indeed, it was a foul called on Jaden Springer. First one of the line is no good for Saddiq Bey. Here we go. Danuel House Jr. with the ball off the pass from DeAnthony Melton. Gets it over to Springer, over to Harris. Harris lofts it up over towards the direction of Danuel House Jr. Puts it up and puts it in. Danuel House Jr. has really stepped it up tonight. Jalen Johnson trying to get it up to Okongwu. That's no good. It's going to be picked up by DeAnthony Melton. Melton going back to the outside, finding House. House out to Harris. Harris in the corner for three. Good for Tobias Harris again. Let's go, Toby. And the Sixers are loving it all day, every day. And again, Tobias Harris is one of those dudes that has really just come together. He's really done a nice job in this game tonight. Technical foul call on Patrick Beverley as he's on the bench. Five of 8, though, from the field for Danuel House Jr., and then 1 of 4 from three-point range. Again, Danuel House Jr., ladies and gentlemen, he's done a nice job. If he can step it up, though, and just stay consistent with this and keep up with this pattern, he can be a potential six-man for this bench because Kelly Oubre is potentially going to stay in the starting 5, and then Batum's going to do whatever he can give you at that point. And this will be a turnover here by Atlanta as DeJounte Murray could not handle the basketball, and the Sixers will have the ball here with about 7 minutes left to go in the game. Yeah, as soon as Bogdanovich did behind the back, then there was no chance for DeJounte Murray to go up and get it. Here we go. Here's Springer with the ball here for the Sixers. Springer finds Tobias Harris. Harris guarded by Bogdanovich. Harris, pump face, puts it up for 2, and it's good for Tobias Harris again. Tobias Harris is in a whole new system. This is a new version of Tobias Harris. And then Springer is able to keep it in play, but goes right to Bogdan Bogdanovich out to Saddiq Bey for 3, and it's good. That's what I say, though, by Jaden Springer. I mean, I can't complain about that. I mean, it was just that there was, like, nobody in the area to maintain possession of the ball. As House gets over to Maxey, Maxey looking for an option here to pass the ball to, as he's guarded by DeJounte Murray. Maxey gets it over to Tobias Harris. Harris guarded by Jalen Johnson. Harris the shot for two, no good. Going to be rebounding here by Saddiq Bey. Murray with the ball here, guarded by Harris. Murray with the fadeaway two, no good. Going to be rebounded by, I do believe that was Capella. Tries to put it back for the second chance points and fails to do so, as the Sixers come away with the defensive rebound. I was thinking for a second, I didn't even know what Maxey was trying to do right there. But it is going to be a timeout. There will be a timeout called on the floor. And it will be a timeout called by Philly. Come on, guys. Just got to hold on to it for about another 6.5 minutes here. Let's go. Got to hang on to this for another 6.5 minutes. The Sixers overall, though, ladies and gentlemen, they've done an absolutely phenomenal job in this game. If I would, I'd give player of the game to Danuel House Jr., honestly. For being a player that stepped up off the bench tonight, I mean, I'd give him player of the game. But they're not going to give him player of the game. It'd probably go to Joel Embiid. If we're being honest here, it'd probably go to Embiid. Or maybe Tobias could get it, because, I mean, Tobias has actually been pretty solid, too. But they'd give it to Embiid regardless, because Embiid's had the most points, though. Asia Roberson just wanted to say what's up to Ryan Rowe. Come on, Sixers. We got 6.5 minutes, so we got to hold on to this thing. $109.98 is the score with 6:24 left to go in the fourth. Sixers less than 6.5 minutes away from beating the Atlanta Hawks and getting off their 2-game losing streak. Sixers trying to end that 2-game losing streak once and for all here tonight. They still got some work to do, though. Game is not done. They were showing some of the best plays of the game so far. But Tobias Harris has really put it together tonight. Season high for Tobias Harris of 25 points, 10 of 17 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, as well as 7 rebounds. Got 600 subs already. My boy Golden plays this. Yeah, I appreciate that, Asia Roberson. We were talking about that the other night, like a couple streams ago. So, hey, I appreciate everybody that supported the channel. And I appreciate everybody for helping me surpass 600 subscribers. So, let's continue to spread it around and continue to get more viewers on here. And Jaden Springer, looks like Springer might have got hit in the eye. You see the replay again. Oh, heck yeah, he did. Oh, heck yeah. Flagrant 1 on Trae Young, please. What? They're not going to call that a flagrant? Come on, he hit him right in the eyeball. He hit this man, Jaden Springer, right in the eyeball. Like, how's that not a flagrant 1? First one on the line is good for Jaden Springer. At least Jaden Springer gets the opportunity to add to his stat sheet, though, as DeAnthony Melton will check back in for the Sixers, replacing Daniel House Jr., and the Sixers currently with a 10-point lead over the Atlanta Hawks. Looking to add on to it as Jaden Springer will attempt the second free throw from the free throw line, which he does get it, and now the Sixers are up by 13 over Atlanta. About 6 minutes left to go here in the game. Jalen Johnson has the ball, gets it over to Clint Capella, who gets it back over to Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson looking, fakes a step back, gets it over to Capella. Capella spins. Capella puts it up. That will be denied, but a foul is going to be called on Joel Embiid. It's going to be Embiid's third of the game, I do believe. First one on the line for Clint Capella is no good. Clint Capella with 12 points, though, 7 rebounds and shooting 5 of 8 from the field. Capella's had a pretty decent game. I'm not gonna lie. I'll give him credit where credit's due. He's had a decent game tonight. Second one on the line is also good for Clint Capella. Hawks down by 12, though, regardless. With about 5.5 minutes left to go here in the game, as Maxey has the ball, guarded by DeJounte Murray. Maxey gets over to Melton in the corner for 3. No good. Going to be rebounded by Jalen Johnson. Here comes Atlanta. Trae Young with the ball here for the Hawks. Gets over to Jalen Johnson. Johnson going to his right, gets it over to DeJounte Murray. Murray guarded by Springer. Murray going to drive, lay it up, and lay it in. And the Hawks are trying to say, we're not going away just yet. We still have a little bit of life and fight left in us. As the 5-minute mark approaches. Maxey with the ball here for the Sixers. Maxey going to his left. Maxey guarded by DeJounte Murray. Maxey lofts it up towards Embiid. Embiid gets it over to Springer. Springer with the reverse layup again. That is good for Jaden Springer. Let's go. Let's go. Trae Young with the ball here for the Hawks. Tries to get it over to Clint Capella, and that's intercepted by Tyrese Maxey. We'll get it over to Melton. Melton finds Maxey again. Maxey guarded by Trae Young. Maxey looking. Maxey gets it to Embiid. Embiid from the paint puts it up for 2, and it's good for Joel Embiid again. And another timeout called here. It looks like it's another one by Atlanta. And the Sixers starting to run away with this game here as they have a 115-1 lead over the Atlanta Hawks. I really do like what Jaden Springer has done on the last couple shots so far. But overall, in the last couple shots, though, Jaden Springer's really done a nice job. But again, though, the player that stepped up the most in this game was Daniel House Jr. I don't care what you say. He should get player of the game, but they usually give it to the guy who gets the most points, and that in this case is going to be Joel Embiid. As Embiid's got 30, Tobias Harris with 25, Maxey with 19, Daniel House Jr. with 14, and then DeAnthony Melton with 11. And we'll get a chance to see the young guys again for sure. Again, guys, the Sixers have done a really nice job shooting the ball from 3, being more conservative with the basketball. They're shooting 46.4% from three right now. 13 of 28. They're shooting 13 of 28 from three right now. I cannot complain whatsoever. But again, guys, about 4.5 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter, and hopefully the Sixers can come out with the W. But everyone's out here doing their assignment, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you that. Embiid, Maxey, Tobias, Daniel House. Daniel House might have been the one that to surprise me the most, honestly. Here we go with the Hawks down by 14. They have the ball with about 4 minutes left to go here in the fourth. As DeJounte Murray comes through in the lane, and that is denied by the Sixers again. Here comes Tobias Harris here for Philly. Harris with the ball, gets it over to Maxey. Maxey going to his right. Maxey standing at the top of the key, going to his right again, finds Embiid. Embiid. Guarded by Capella, and that's a turnover here for the Sixers. As Murray forces the Hawks to go out to Bay for three. No good. It's going to be rebounded by the Sixers. Melton, the layup is good. Here we go. Here's Trae Young with the ball. Trae Young going to drive on Tobias. Kicks it out to Saddiq Bey. In the corner for three, and that's good for Saddiq Bey. Here we go. Here's Maxey with the ball. Maxey finds Embiid. Embiid guarded by Saddiq Bey. Embiid backing into the paint. Embiid with the layup for two. No good, but he will be fouled and will head to the free throw line. Chance at two more free throws. .30 points for Joel Embiid right now, as well as 7 rebounds and 10 assists is the first one. The free throw line is good for Joel Embiid. Embiid looking to make the second one, which he does, and gives the Sixers a 15-point lead over the Hawks. Just about 3 minutes left to go here in the fourth. As Trae Young shoots a long three, no good. Going to be rebounded by Capella. Out to Murray for three, and he gets it. Under 3 minutes left to play here in this one. As Maxey has the ball now for the Sixers. Maxey guarded by Saddiq Bey, gets over to Embiid. Embiid loses the ball but gets it back. Embiid spinning. Just having to release the shot at the top of the key. Doesn't get to go. Springer with the rebound. Reverse layup, no good. Going to be rebounded by Capella. And he'll get it over to Trae Young. Out to Jalen Johnson for three. And that is airballed, and Maxey picks it up. Maxey with the ball here for the Sixers, and he will be fouled by DeJounte Murray. As the fans start filing out of the stands here. Here we go. Max again in the paint, flowing it up for two. No good. It's going to be rebounding here by Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson bringing the ball down the floor out to Saddiq Bey. Bey coming inside, kicking it out to Trae Young. Trae Young, the floater for two is good. As Maxey gets it into Tobias Harris, back over to Melton. Melton with the ball, getting it over to Maxey. Maxey gets it to Melton over to Harris. Harris with the floater for two, and it's good. About a minute left to go here in this game. And about a minute to go until the Sixers looks like they're going to grab their next win, as the floater for the Hawks is missed again. And the Sixers pretty much just going to try to go ahead and wind the clock out. As Maxey has the ball, Maxey flips it to Embiid. Embiid going to his right, getting it over to Jaden Springer. Springer going to get in the paint, gets over to Harris for two, and it's good for Tobias Harris again. My goodness. As Trae Young gets it over to DeJounte Murray for three, and that's good. Under 50 seconds left to go. And looks like the Sixers are going to win this one here. As Melton has it, spins around, finds Harris. Harris to Springer. Springer with the layup. Can't get it to go. But it will be an offensive foul called on Philly. But it's not really going to matter too much, as it's going to be it's going to be too little too late. It's going to be an offensive foul called on Tobias Harris. The Sixers will finally get off the losing streak here. After two straight games of losing, between losing to the the Bucks and the Pacers, they're finally going to get back on the winning ways. About 20 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Sixers with a 9-point lead. They keep it into Tobias Harris, who gets it over to Maxey. Maxey just spinning, finds Melton. And Melton will be fouled and will head to the free throw line. What kind of job do you do? I work in the arcade, Asia, if you're wondering. First one on the line for Melton is no good. Again, it's really not going to matter too much, though, regardless. Second one on the line is good then for DeAnthony Melton. Trae Young bringing it down the floor. Melton coming away with the steal. Finds Springer, and Springer will throw it down with 7.1 seconds left. They'll get it into Jalen Johnson. Brings it down the floor. The alley-oop right now. At this point, this is a contest in the All-Star game. Intercepted by DeJounte Murray. Will be a travel. Come on, I just want this game to be over. Come on. That's all I want. I just want the game to be over. And they'll inbound to Embiid, and Embiid taking the last shot. It doesn't matter despite the fact he airballed. And the Philadelphia 76ers will officially come out on top over the Atlanta Hawks and break their two-game losing streak by defeating the Atlanta Hawks by 10 points here tonight by a final score of 126-116. Tobias Harris and Daniel House Jr. get players of the game tonight. Just go ahead and change the scoreboard here, ladies and gentlemen. There you go, guys. There is the final score. Sixers get a 10-point win over the Atlanta Hawks, 126-116. That's a good win tonight after bouncing back from the 2-game losing streak, losing to both the Celtics and the Pacers. Two really good teams in the Eastern Conference. You can't deny that. But ladies and gents, you guys know how we rock and roll after every win. You know we have to do something special real quick. Y'all know the drill, ladies and gents. Go ahead and do it for the one time. Play the song. Let's go, guys. That's a good win tonight. But ladies and gents, you know whenever we play the song one time, doesn't matter who we're playing or how many points we win by, we usually go ahead and run it back twice. And let me know in the chat if we should run it back right now. Let me know in the chat if we should run it back. Because I feel like I'm in the mood to run it back right now. I'm in the mood. After that win, after bouncing back from a 2-game losing streak, I'm in the mood to run it back. But you know what? I'm going to let the chat decide. Do we run that song back right now? I feel like doing it. I feel like running it back. What do you guys think? Should we run it back right now? Because I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood to run it back, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm going to let the chat decide. I'm going to let the chat decide. Do we run it back or no? I'm definitely in the mood to run it back, but like I said before, I'm letting the chat decide on this one. Still got no response yet. That's a good win tonight, though, regardless. That's a great win. I got a yes from TV1, so we will go ahead and run it back, but I do want to answer this question from Asia Roberson. And Asia, to answer your question, like I said before, even though you didn't hear it, I work in the arcade, so that's the type of job that I have right now. But I did get the yes from TB1 saying that we should run it back. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't matter how much we win by, we're going to run it back regardless. So you know what? Music producer, go ahead and run the song back one more time. Let's do it. Let's go, guys. That's a great win tonight for the Sixers. That's a good win. It's arcade. That's cool. Yeah. Apparently, at the place that I work at, Asia Roberson, they apparently don't allow you to work at the front counter until you're 18. Which I'm not there yet. I'm only 17, I know. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know what? I like working in the arcade. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But ladies and gents, on that note, we're going to go ahead and go over the final stats here. And then we're going to go ahead and get out of here. So starting it off on the Philadelphia 76ers side, Joel Embiid leads the way for the Philadelphia 76ers in this game, finishing his night almost with a triple-double, but finishes his night with 32 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Then following that up was Tobias Harris, finishing his night with 29 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. As a matter of fact, Tobias Harris did have a double-double in this game. Then following that up was Tyrese Maxey, finishing his night with 19 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 steals. Then following that up off the bench was Daniel House Jr., finishing his night with 14 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist. Then following that up, you had DeAnthony Melton back in the starting lineup, finishing his night with 14 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, as well as a steal and a block each. And then back off the bench, you had Jaden Springer following it up with 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Great defense, though, tonight by Jaden Springer. Definitely played his tail off tonight, for sure. And then Robert Covington in the starting lineup, finishing his night with 6 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, as well as a steal and a block each. Then following that up was Paul Reed, finishing his night with 2 points and 2 rebounds. And then rounding it off for the Sixers is Patrick Beverley, finishing his night with 2 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist to end up the final stats for your Philadelphia 76ers. Now over to the Atlanta Hawks side now. As the leading scorer for the Atlanta Hawks, as expected, was Trae Young, finishing his night with 22 points, 2 rebounds, and 13 assists, as well as a steal. Trae Young finishing his night with a double-double. Then following that up was Clint Capella, also finishing his night with a double-double of 17 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. And then I skipped over Jalen Johnson, who finished his night also with a double-double of 18 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and 3 blocks. And then following that up was DeJounte Murray, who did not have the most efficient night tonight for sure, but still was able to finish his night with 13 points, a rebound, 3 assists, and 2 steals. Oh, I totally skipped the bench though. As Saddiq Bey finishing his night ever since taking over for DeAndre Hunter, finished his night with 17 points, 7 rebounds, as well as an assist and a steal. And then Bogdanovic following it up with 13 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals. And then DeAndre Hunter, before getting ejected, playing 18 minutes in the game tonight, finishes his night with 9 points and a rebound. Then back to the bench, where Onyeka Okongwu finishes his night off the bench with 5 points and 5 rebounds. And then Wesley Matthews rounding it out, finishing with just 2 points straight up to end off the foul stats for the Atlanta Hawks. Now over to the team stats now, as the Philadelphia 76ers ended up shooting the ball 48.9% from the field to the Atlanta Hawks 44.9%. The Philadelphia 76ers shot the ball 43.3% from three-point range to the Atlanta Hawks 36.4%. The Philadelphia 76ers finished shooting the ball 96.4% from the free throw line to the Atlanta Hawks 80%. The Philadelphia 76ers out-rebounded the Atlanta Hawks in this one 43-39. However, the Atlanta Hawks were able to take advantage on the Sixers when it came to the offensive rebounds, out-rebounding them on the offensive side of the ball 14-13. The Philadelphia 76ers ended up out-assisting the Atlanta Hawks in this one 31-24. The Philadelphia 76ers ended up having more steals than the Atlanta Hawks in this one 9-8. The Sixers have more blocks than the Hawks in this one 5-4. The Sixers, this is another thing I want to see cleaned up for the next game. I want to see these turnovers cleaned up, because you cannot come out here and have this type of stat line, though, where you have 17 turnovers throughout the entire game to the Atlanta Hawks 13. So in this case, Atlanta did end up winning the turnover battle in this one. Then Atlanta also had more points in the paint than the Philadelphia 76ers, 54-48, and a total of 40 personal fouls called, with 20 personal fouls called on each team. And ladies and gents, on that note, that is how the foul stats come to an end here, as the Philadelphia 76ers, like I said before, win the game over the Atlanta Hawks 126-116, move to 9-3 on the year, 3-1 on the road. Great job by the Sixers tonight. But all I gotta say, though, for like a con in this game, gotta clean up those turnovers. I just hope Harden doesn't mess up that organization also. He honestly might. I'm telling you, though, the Sixers won that James Harden trade. I'm telling you, Asia. But ladies and gents, on that note, that is pretty much going to go ahead and do it for me. Sixers get the win by 10 points over the Atlanta Hawks, like I said before, 126-116. Move to 9-3 on the regular season and move 3-1 for their road record against the Hawks. You really didn't need him. Well, it ended up happening and he wanted to go to the Clippers. But ladies and gents, on that note, that is pretty much going to go ahead and do it for me. Be sure to like and subscribe if you guys have not done so. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow when I stream Ohio State versus Minnesota. Anyway, peace out. The Sixers win. Let's go. Peace, everybody. Have a good night, y'all. God bless and peace.